eThekwini Municipality is being criticised for failing to properly maintain its facilities. This as beachgoers continue to swim despite sewage spills into the ocean. Several beachgoers across Durban's coastline, which were forced to close, have now reopened. For more on this, we speak to Desmond D'Sa, coordinator and environmental activist for the South Durban Community Environmental Alliance. Desmond, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Talk to me about this, what you have observed insofar as the beachgoers actually going there with so much pollution.
Well, good afternoon, Funda, and good afternoon to the listeners. Well, I have been driving up and down the coast and also talking to surfers, talking to bay users in Mfloti and Mhlanga Rocks, as well as the beaches in Durban, the central beaches, north and south in Durban. And I found that a lot of people were swimming in these beaches. The water is darkish and brownish, which is an indication of sewage in the water. I spoke to the guys on boats, and they were going out on boats, and they had to come back. They said, look, it's terrible out there. People should not be allowed to even use the ocean. However, the municipality in one breath is saying close the beaches. In the other breath, they're going to open the beaches. They haven't provided any information, and there is no information to indicate that water quality has improved as yet. So we're all aware that sewage has a huge impact on people's health and well-being. It can cause dysentery. It can cause a host of health problems that people will be affected with. And I can't, for want of words, to say what decisions made them reopen the beaches. I mean, yeah, we understand that the beaches were blue flag status, but the blue flag status is something we should not put ahead of people's lives and people's well-being. I think this is where we've seen over the years, and this is not the first time that sewage spills have entered our ocean on Durban's beaches. You will recall that a few years ago, 2008, that the blue flag status was removed from our city because on account of all the major sewage works which are on the rivers, all the rivers of Durban, and end up in the ocean and the harbor, that they were not maintained, and as a result, they collapsed. A lot of the equipment collapsed completely, and all the sewage was then released into the harbor. It was a big fight, and continues to be a problem for the city to maintain the sewage works, to have a plan of how they're going to ensure that people that are coming from all over the world, our tourists that provide much needed jobs for our people in Durban and along our coastline, our marine resources are not being destroyed. We have seen thousands of fish wash up dead just because of chemicals at the Mhlanga and in Mfloti beaches, right? So we've also seen the fish in the Durban harbor through the sewage works. Because the sewage spills and all the runoffs are in the Durban harbor, we've seen that happen. Hundreds of fish have washed up dead. We've seen some of the estuaries like Isipingo where the fish have washed up dead. The CSI report is clearly an indication that the E. coli level is quite high and that something needs to be done properly. We don't know. The city is very silent. It has not stated categorically if there's any water samples done, if there's any reports being done by the CSIR, which is a government parastatal that is based in Durban as well as in Pretoria, that looks at all the runoffs, looks at the impact and what has been dumped into the ocean and into our beaches. The
Now,
city
Desmond,
officials have been very silent about it.
we must say, in fact, last week, if I'm correct, we did interview the municipality on the intermittent closures of the beaches, particularly in KwaDukuza. And when we spoke of the beaches around the coastal line, they had stated that there was this spillage and it would be closed, but there's also the allegation that you would see beachgoers actually swimming even if there's visible signage that this beach is in fact closed. I don't know if you've also observed that with beachgoers?
While there's confusion, the city is to blame for the confusion. The city officials that put out the statements have not even gone near the beaches. There are beaches, there are people swimming in those beaches, huge amount of sewage and all that. The city has come out together with the province to say, look, the beaches are open. But when you see what is really happening out there, people are swimming. Now, I can't understand why do we have recreation officers, beach officers that patrol our beaches. Why are they being used to tell people to move away from the beach because the beach is closed, the beaches are not safe? That's not being done, and I think that's a travesty of justice that our city officials are failing to do that. And I think, you know, somebody has to be held accountable. That if people are still swimming in murky, dirty sewage water, then something is wrong. We go on the beach, on Durban's beachfront, the promenade. There's huge amount of security personnel that are there. There's huge amount of vehicles by the recreation officers who come there and chase people away if they're selling goods or if they even having a placard or a banner on the beachfront. They chase you away. Why aren't the same people utilized to ensure that nobody is swimming in polluted beaches? And people will get sick. I mean, is that what our city? We don't have the medical treatment. We have COVID. We have HIV/AIDS. We have a host of illnesses in Durban. How is it that we're allowing people to go and swim in a beach highly polluted with sewage that will have an impact on people's health?
No, it most certainly is concerning. It most certainly is concerning, Desmond. Have you perhaps engaged the municipality as an organization at this point?
We've been engaging the municipality on all the chemical sewage spills over the years. The officials that we are working with did not come on eNCA. That's a problem I have. Why didn't they bring the officials to come on eNCA and come and tell us whether as community, because we've been engaging them on a monthly basis in the South Durban area where all the sewage is going into the Cuttings Beach, where all the chemicals are being dumped there. Those officials are not being brought here. What they instead they brought up a disaster manager to come and talk about it. Yes, this is a disaster, but the people responsible have not come on eNCA and have come and spoken about the facts. What are they failing? What are they doing about it? Are there plans being put in place to ensure that this doesn't continue? Because this is happening once too often, monthly, weekly, daily. It's happening all over the show in Durban, under our boundaries of the eThekwini Municipality. So I was shocked that I saw the disaster manager speak on it, because I know he's not the person that's responsible for the sanitation and sewage. The people that we talk to daily, give them all the evidence, ask them to respond, meet with them virtually. They have been telling us about plans that don't exist, and nothing has come to fruit. The people are angry. In fact, people want to go and protest about this here, including the surfers, the fisher folks, the residents, the traditional healers who utilize the beaches. They have been affected in a big way as well. So they are angry about this, and the officials need to be held accountable. And yeah, I say the head of department of sanitation and water in Durban should be brought onto the program, and let us have a proper discussion about it. I'm prepared to be on the panel. I'm prepared to provide the evidence and the information of how many times we have spoken to them and they have failed and have done nothing. They're just shifting the goalposts to somebody else to come and talk about sewage and sanitation and chemicals who are not responsible for that. People responsible must be brought on the show. I'm hoping that this can be another day where we can start talking, being frank and honest with one another, so the solution can be found.
No, we'll most certainly extend that invite to the municipality to address all those concerns. Desmond, thank you very much for your time. That's Desmond D'Sa, Coordinator and Environmental Activist for South Durban Community Environmental Alliance.